thought it was a great day to actually carry on my tour of the canal from Tinsley into Rotherham. Perfect skies. So if you come down the motorway from the M1, come down Shepcote Lane and turn straight into where he's signposted for American Golf. It's on Plumpers Road. You'll see American Golf when you come down, and you can park down here. And I'm going to get onto the canal and take the journey up from there. I just had to get across the road from the other side and see Tinsley up there, see Meadowhall down there, and I'm off down this towpath. So on the other video you'll have seen me coming from Attercliffe down there, and I'm coming up to the Tinsley Viaduct. Then I'll just pick up on the other side of Tinsley Viaduct. But if you can subscribe to my channel, like the video, and I think you can actually put notifications as well. So you subscribe to my channel and then you click notifications, and that you'll get adverts when my latest video comes up. So there's a little bit of information on what's on the canal, and somebody asked whether he will be able to bring his invalid wife along here. So we'll find out today how good the actual surface is into Rotherham. I put my boots on because I ain't got a clue. So it's quite some view down this side of the viaduct, as you can see. See if I can just zoom in on that. So picking up from my last video I did, I'll bang all these in a playlist anyway, and I'll pop that in the description. Just on the left you can see a biomass plant. So there you can see the biomass plant through the trees. I mean, look at the size of these places, and they hardly produce any energy. To me, they're a complete waste of space. Now, we used to have the electric generating plant here. Remember the twin towers that were remaining from it? I think there was probably 3, 4, 5 towers on the original electric generating plant, and then we've got one of these. What a joke! But that's the energy policy in the UK. I'm coming back round where I worked at British Steel, Rotherham Steel, Peach and Tozer, coming around this side of it. And the reason I've come out today so quickly is that somebody told me about steel enge, and I didn't know about it. So I do learn lots of things from people who comment on my video. I thought this would be a really interesting part of the canal to pick up on. Might catch some of the old industry that's rotting round here. So I've got another bit of engineering up here. So you've got a better view of the biomass plant. I was just chatting to a chap, and he said he'd rather have a quick walk down here than go in IKEA with a wife. I don't blame him. He said he actually worked at Blackburn Meadows sewage plant, which was just over there, where the biomass plant is. So you learn something new every day. I lose track of where all these things are. So I do try and keep my videos as interactive as I can, and what we've got here is, this is the new road from Meadowhall into Rotherham. I'm not exactly sure where it picks up. I think it might be down at the Ickles area, if I'm right, but I don't know. It's interesting just talking to that gentleman who's avoided IKEA. He's got concerns about the way things are going with the digital future. Social media, etc. So you can see an older iron bridge across the canal, but this area was so steep in history, and I'll go on about my normal thing. We need to balance back to a sector, service sector versus manufacturing. Can't carry on with just a service sector industry. This is an absolute joke. Now all the where you can see that plant there, that's all modern. That's not the sort of plants I think were around here before. Another view of the biomass plant there. There's not a lot down here at the moment, but what I'll do is I'll pick up when there is something. But one of the things I noticed, I went down Sheffield Road past Steel Peat and Chaucer to video what was left down there, where Magna is, etc. And they've just let most of it rot down there. I'm going to walk back up that way because I've heard about them putting cycle lanes in down there. Complete waste of money, but that's what Rotherham's just complaining that a shortfall on a budget or something, and they're their own worst enemy. So things start to get interesting around here. It'll become more evident as we get round the corner. So it appears this is a canal up here, but then you've got the River Don down there. I'll see more as we get round the corner. It's got these big orange buoys, and then the canal sort of comes round here. Go sweeping around the corner, and what I'll do is pick up round the corner. I just want to show you the overflow part. You can see some of the old Steel Peat and Tozer sheds over there. That probably looks like the back of Magna, that. I don't know what the crane's for, but I'll find out when I come back up the road. Well, one thing is, I can't believe how good the surface is. I put my wellies on because it was so muddy coming in from Attercliffe to Tinsley, and the surface is perfect around here. So why can't Sheffield City Council get their act together with the Sheffield section of it? So on the left hand side, it looks like we've got a farm over here, so close to industrial land. I'm just going to walk over here at Jordan's Lock. I'm going to walk on the other side and see if I can just see that overflow. So as you can see, that's the overflow just there. The canal seems to follow the River Don most of the way. Seems to be just probably bits where the River Don want to be navigatable. So that's where the canal's running along the side of it. Other parts it actually picks up the River Don completely. I will pop a map in the description and show you the canal. It actually picks up another canal, I think it's Keedle or something like that, and at some stage you can get into various ports up there, but you'll see that on the map. So just here it does look like a farm of some kind, or someone's keeping some animals just there. And then just a bit beyond it you can see industrial buildings up there. I just heard a train going through the middle of it as well. A bit more of the farm there, or whatever it is, small holding. You can see the canal's a bit boring down here. On the right hand side there would have been a lot more industry, and I think we may have come across to the Eccles Bridge when we get down here. We've come some distance down a really straight area, It's very wide on this side of the canal compared with the Sheffield side, I think. Just appears that way anyway. Coming up to another lock here, and I've got to make a decision on where I go from here. Now this is a nice bit of wall art. Nothing against good wall art, just don't like graffiti. There are other paths going off on here as well. We've got another lock here. Another side. Another bit of wall art. Certainly around the back of the industrial area, we even got what looks an old shunting line. Now at this point I think I'm going to have a bit of an explore, because I've got temp rubber that way, and I think the steel edge might be up there, and then back down the canal into Rotherham. So I'm going to stop at this point, go and see if I can find anything up there, and then carry on down the canal into Rotherham. So I had a quick explore up there. I think it's something for another day, but that's Blackburn Meadows Nature Reserve. You certainly need your wellies on up there, but I'm shocked that's Sheffield City Council. So I thought we're nearly into Rotherham by now, so very strange that Sheffield City Council's got the closing around here. But it's certainly industrial around here, or been very industrial, as you can see. But I didn't realise how far steel pigeon tozer came from Sheffield Road across to here. It must have been an absolute massive plant. I mean, I worked in Spear, which was where the 6 electric arc furnaces were, and I just didn't realise how far it went back from there. I'm hoping that steel edges around this corner somewhere as we get into Rotherham. Just another quick glance back there to that lock. But as you can see, I've not seen one boat along here, otherwise it would have been on film. So can anybody explain this? Looks like something to do with a steel company that's been around here in the past. Unless it's a coal loading place or dropping off slag, I don't know, but right by the side of the canal just here. It looks like scrapyards around here, and I actually think I've seen the floodlights for Millmoor. Could be wrong, but we'll find out in a moment. You can certainly hear the noise around here. So I can see Millmoor floodlights quite clearly, and if it was a toss-up between Millmoor and the New York Stadium, give me Millmoor any day. I was a Sheffield Wednesday fan at derbies. Also, we had 3 European matches there when they were doing Hillsborough for the European Cup. My memories of Millmoor from those days were brilliant. Stood on the Tivoli after the bandstanding at Hillsborough. It was absolutely fantastic. We had 13,000 in for some of them European matches. The New York Stadium holds about 10,000, I think, 10,500 or whatever. It reminds me of an IKEA flat pack. Awful. We've got a bit of life now on the canal, which is great. See the floodlights, I think. To the best football ground in Rotherham. To me, it's like comparing Sheffield City Centre back in the 1980s with Meadowhall now. When you look at the old Millmoor and the New York Stadium, there's just no comparison. I think we come past the New York Stadium in a moment. Well, this is a really idyllic spot here. You can see the scrapyard. I think that's the bottom end of Millmoor, owned by Booths. But they built a beautiful new stand at Millmoor. Never even finished it, and it's better than any of the stands actually in the new ground. It's just quite incredible. I'm going to feel alright chump walking back up Sheffield Road to Tinsley with my wellies on. We're definitely at the bottom end of Millmoor just here. And all these scrapyards, you can just see them. Hopefully I'm going to go up here now and get into Rotherham somehow. So I was just wondering about electrified lines, and then I've just seen Supertram come past. The Supertram now comes down to Parkgate in Rotherham. So they're just drawing more and more traffic away from our town centres, and I think it's a deliberate cultural attack. I might even have a walk up to Millmoor in a bit and see if I can film the old ground. But you can just start to see the New York Stadium up here. Can't stand modern stadiums, sorry. Give me standing any day. So So a bit more of the canal here. From this point I want to come off into Rotherham. I'll just give you a glimpse of the stadium from here. I'll just walk up, give you a glimpse, but you've seen the old scrap yards where Boothie made all his money. Give you a glimpse of the stadium, and then what I'll do is I'll do a video of New York Stadium as a separate video. See more of the scrapyard. I know it's only a scrapyard, but there you've got the name CF Booth Limited, recyclers of iron, steel and non-ferrous metals. Now the funny thing is, I did a video of Lindrick Dale, and there's a house called Nirvana there that one of the Booths owns, and there's an interesting story that his dad came to visit him one day and he couldn't get in, it's that secure. So I think his dad, if he's still alive, still lives in or he did, if he was before he died, I'm not sure one way or the other on that. Lived in a council house all his life, not family, living in big luxurious pads. Dad made all money and kids have spent it. Get a bit close up to New York Stadium anyway. So there's a more close-up view of the New York Stadium. So see if I can show it. Yeah, there. I can't. So that's the New York Stadium. So that's it. End of my video. I'll do an extra video on this. You can like my video, subscribe to my channel and click on notifications. I'd appreciate that. Goodbye from Rotherham.